Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Invisible Disabilities Invisible InCourage. Today, I'm here with William Atkins, and we're going to be talking about Tourette's. Hello, William.
Hi, Miss Kelly. Hi, everybody.
All right, tell us a little about you, William.
My name is William Atkins IV. I'm currently an uprising senior. I go to McKinley Technology High School in Washington, D.C. I love to swim, watch movies, hang out with my family, and go shopping.
That's awesome. So tell us, what is Tourette syndrome?
Tourette syndrome is a neurodevelopmental disorder. So, in my own words, to explain it, when you're in the womb developing and your brain is forming, your Tourette's is forming with you as well. So the neural part meaning that it's in your brain, and as you continue to grow and develop, your Tourette's develops is with you as well. So you're born with it and you're going to pass away with it. I learned that at the youth conference. I'm a youth ambassador for the Tourette's Association of America, so I learned that at the conference.
That's really cool. Tell us more about what that's like. What is it like to be an ambassador?
So I just became an ambassador in March of this year. Cool. Before the corona had really hit like that. So it was really, really fun.
Sounds fun.
I went for 3 days. We stayed in a very nice hotel. We got to learn about what Tourette's was, the different components of it. So there's a difference. There's a such thing as tic disorder. Tics are what if you may, for the viewers, you may see my body move, my arm may throw out, stuff like that. But so that's tic disorder. And Tourette's is when you have motor tics. Like a motor tic is when your body moves, and vocal tics. So sometimes you may hear it go like it's not a cough, it's a tic. So it's a combination of both, a motor tic and a vocal tic, and that's what is classified as Tourette's.
Cool. So what symptoms do you live with every day?
Every day, I would say, I more so. It just depends on my emotions and how I feel about different stuff. So one thing I know, my cough is always with me. Not my cough, but my tic. That one is always with me every day. Sometimes, like when I'm really excited about something, my body moves a lot, my arm may throw it. It just depends on. I know for me, my emotions and how I'm feeling towards different stuff determine what type of tics I have. And one thing that I've noticed is sometimes I may be really excited about something like I am now, and I don't know that I'm excited about it, and my tics will be acting up. My mom will be like, calm down, like you're excited. What are you excited about? And then I have to think like to myself, what's on my mind? Like, what am I excited about? Or what's going on? So I have to calm down and just think about it, and then I'm okay.
Yeah, it's like your brain knows before even your mind does.
Yes,
it's really
that's
cool.
how it works. And then my body reacts without my permission in a way. So that's how it works.
So you were telling me a little bit earlier about how at one point you accepted that you have Tourette's and you accepted your life. What was that like, and when did that happen?
Okay, so to be honest, I used to cry all the time because I really didn't. I couldn't figure out what was going on with my body. So to sum it all up, in 4th grade, that's when I had started cracking my neck, and I used to think that it was normal. And my friends at school, they used to start calling me tornado neck, and I never really thought about that, but I remember it. So I was like, okay. And then in 5th grade, it went away. 6th grade, I started to develop the tic with the cough. Yeah. And my mom, she always be like, stop, like, you're not sick, stop doing it. So I tried to, make it go away, and it did. So middle school, it was not there at all. Like it wasn't present, it wasn't visible. So when I got to 9th grade, high school, it wasn't there at all. And then 10th grade, it was just like, pow, like, damn, like, I'm here. So, chemistry was one of my harder classes because with chemistry, I used to feel like some subjects I could get, like, I would pass. Like, I could help other people, I understood it. And then it would come to different subjects where, like, I would fail the do nouns, the exams, just different stuff. And I couldn't understand. And I had this one tic where my head would throw itself back and forth like that. Like, and it would give me really, really, really bad headaches. Ugh. And I had a midterm one day, and I felt like I couldn't take it because I just was like, my head is hurting. So I called my mom and I was like, Mommy, my head is hurting. I don't know what to do. And I told my teacher, and she was like, do you have a 504 plan? I was like, no, I don't know what that is. So eventually, one day my mommy picked me up from school early, and I didn't really know where we was going, but she picked me up and she said, we're going to the neurologist. And I was more so nervous to go. I wasn't upset or mad or anything. I was nervous because I knew something was wrong. I just didn't want to know what was wrong. Like I knew something was going on. I just couldn't figure out. It wasn't like something that you could self-diagnose. Like when you have a cold or something like that. So I knew that it was important that I went to the doctor. So when I went, I was nervous. I got my height taken, my weight taken. I mean my weight, measured and stuff like that. And then I went into this really pretty room. I think that calmed me down. They had like elephants and just animals on numbers and stuff. And the neurologist came in and she took her finger and did like that to my eyes. She hit on my knee. She had me walk on the straight line. And she told me that I had Tourette's, and she asked my mommy a few questions. And she was just like, you have Tourette's. And I was like, what is that? And she just told me, it's a combination of motor and vocal tics. And that was that. And once I had left the doctor's office, I still didn't really understand what was going on with my body. I still would cry sometimes. Like at lunch, I used to have my hoodie on all the time because my head used to fly back and forth. I used to put my head down at the table. Sometimes when it was so bad, I wouldn't even go to lunch. I wouldn't ditch it, but I would skip it. I started to put myself into a shell. But one day I was at church and my pastor said that God gives everybody something different for a reason. And that's when it clicked in my mind, like, oh, like, okay, I guess my Tourette's is my reason. So I started praying more. And then, like I told you, my mom always tells me that you have to love yourself from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. Once I started to accept that, life just became easier and no more, like, people weren't laughing at me no more, none of that. Like, I started to embrace myself. And then I decided to start talking about it on my social media page. And on my social media page, I just received so much. I started spreading awareness. I was just telling people what I was going through, what it was, just stuff like that, things of that nature. And I gained I want to say like I gained maybe like 600 followers. So I'm still in the process of spreading awareness and stuff. So that's what I've done. I've just started spreading awareness. That's how I became a youth ambassador. Miss Kimberly, I met Miss Kimberly through spreading awareness. So I'm in a documentary called Unfixed for Everyone. It's a lovely documentary. And now that's how I'm on this show, by basically spreading awareness and accepting myself.
That is so cool. So tell us a little about being in the documentary Unfixed.
So Unfixed is a documentary of all these people with different disabilities, but we don't think of them as disabilities. They're abilities, and I call mine a superpower. So
love that.
The best way that I can explain to someone what's going on with me is I picture it as an invisible book bag in a way. Like, so when I wake up in the morning, like the book bag just attaches itself to my body. Like the straps, they tighten themselves. And my tics is the book bag. Like I move, I cough, I jump, I jerk, I sniffle, I do all that stuff. And then when I'm getting ready to wind down and go to bed, like I could take the backpack off and I go to sleep. I don't tic at all in my sleep. I go to sleep. Sometimes I'm well rested, but I know for me, sometimes when I am trying to go to sleep, my legs shake a little bit, so it takes me a little bit longer. But back to the documentary, there's different people who have different disabilities, and we all just come together and talk about it, and we answer questions. And Miss Kimberly and Miss Mia come up with, and it goes on YouTube and the page. So we were supposed to actually film together, but with Corona and stuff here, it's just been a lot.
That's definitely true. I love the backpack analogy. That's really good.
Yes. That's the easiest way that I can explain it to people sometimes.
So tell me more about how you learned to love yourself, like you were discussing.
Okay, so I more so think that loving yourself, you have to look into the mirror and you just have to accept yourself for who you are. And me, like when I look at myself in the mirror now, yes, I realize I have tics. I cough, I jump, like I said, I jerk, but it's a part of me. It doesn't make me William. It's just a part of me. It doesn't define me. It's not more so like a 80-20 percentage. It's 100 and 100. I'm William and I have Tourette's, and that's just how I address it. It doesn't make me or define me. It's just a part of me. And when you realize, when you accept yourself, I feel like your life will just start changing around. I think accepting the fact that I had Tourette's, it has only made me more compassionate to others. I feel like it's made me kinder, more respectful, more patient, because I need people to have patience with me when it comes to different things. So it has made me more patient, more loving, more accepting, more open-minded to just different things. So that's what I think coming into play when loving yourself. You have to look into yourself, and to, like I tell myself, like, William, that's something my mom always tells me as well. Like, William, you have to love yourself. Like, even when it's rough days, I still have to tell myself, like, okay, today is almost over. Hopefully there's a better day. Hopefully I have a way better day tomorrow, and that's it. That's how I do it.
I love that. So if you made a new friend today, what advice would you give him to be the best supporter and the best support system for you? Like, what could he do to make it easier for you?
Most of my friends, all of them, well, you said a new friend. I would tell him off the break if he doesn't ask that I have Tourette's syndrome. But some people ask, and I say that I have Tourette's, and they just say, okay. And I say, well, let me explain it to you. Like, just don't say, okay, I need you to know what it is so that I don't scare you at times.
Okay.
So I think patience is key for me, because sometimes different tasks at hand, they make me, just depending on my tics, how they're acting, I need a little bit more patience. So patience with me, and that's it, just patience.
Yeah.
I can do everything. I'm still a normal human being. I just need people to have patience with me sometimes.
Definitely. Definitely. That's a great lesson for everyone, really.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So what kind of things make you happy in life? What do you love?
Okay, I love to swim. I'm on the varsity swimming team at school.
Oh, very cool.
I swim freestyle, and I just learned backstroke this year.
Awesome.
I like to go shopping. I like to hang out with my family. I like to go to church. Prayer makes me happy. What else makes me happy? Watching movies. I love watching movies and shows. Like, I just recently finished watching The Office, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished watching all 9 seasons. So I'm done.
That's an impressive feat.
Yes, I love watching movies and shows, and I think more so being around my loved ones, calm as well, my friends, just having fun, making the best out of life with what I have. It makes me happy.
Very cool. So tell us more about being an ambassador, even for the specific organization that you said, or just in general. How do you go about raising awareness? What is the easiest way to explain it?
Okay, so the Tourette Association of America, with every state, there's a chapter inside of that state. So I'm the ambassador for Washington, D.C., and then there's an ambassador for Colorado and California, all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. So ambassadors from every state. So what you do is you can apply to be a youth ambassador, or they can reach out to you. Like, they reached out to me, I filled it out, and I got accepted. And I was coming home from school, and my mommy called me on the phone, and she was like, William. And I was like, yes. And she was like, guess what? And I was like, what? And that's when she was like, you got accepted to be a youth ambassador. I was like, yeah, like, I was super excited.
That's so cool.
We had a conference in March, like I said. So you get to learn one thing. So I think a lot of people who have misconceptions about Tourette's is they think that everybody swears. That's called coprolalia. That's when people swear, and they not necessarily always curse, but they have outbursts and they say repeated words and stuff like that. Like, I met this girl at the conference, and with her Tourette's, she had seizures. So we were having a group conversation, and she screamed, and then she had a seizure, and then she got back up, and she was like, I'm okay. Like, that always happens to me. And
just shake it off.
I mean, my heart was beating so fast. I was like,
be very nerve-wracking, for sure.
Like, are you okay? Like, oh my God, like, are you okay? And she was like, yes, that always happens to me. And I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure, because you scared me. So
absolutely.
When it comes to raising awareness, we have different packages and cars that we can do. But since Corona is here, it's kind of hard. I was supposed to be in May for a conference, and I was supposed to go to New York for a conference as well, but everything got canceled. So hopefully when Corona dies down, everything will get back up on the road and everything will take off again.
Definitely. And the social media that you said that you do, you'll have to link that in the comments after the show so that people can go and follow that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, do I put it in the comment now or?
No, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. So through your childhood, you didn't have any symptoms?
Yes, I had the and the neck cracking symptom, but we never knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like I said, it went away and then it would come back. But that the tick where I cough, I used to have that when I was trying to go to sleep at night. Yeah. And my mom, she'd be trying to go to sleep and she'd be like, "William, stop doing that." Because it's a sound. And when once we found out what it was, I was like, wow, I never knew that. Like I never knew that was a part of it. So I've had it ever since I can recall, maybe 10 or 11. So childhood, I had a wonderful childhood. So no, I never really had any symptoms of it. They were there, but we just didn't know that they were symptoms of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So what kind of misconceptions about either Tourette's or invisible disabilities or just disabilities as a whole do you want to clear up?
For misconceptions?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, they treat us sometimes like we're not normal human beings, like we have to be babied and nurtured and stuff like that, and that's not true. Definitely. We're all human beings. We all bleed the same color. We all do the same thing, different ways sometimes, but we're all humans, no matter skin color, sexual orientation, religion, disability or no disability. We're all human, and we're all normal people. We just all go through different stuff. And someone told me that everybody has something different. It's just with the disability. With mine, you can see mine and hear mine, but with someone else, it's like some people have ADHD, and some people have dyslexia. It's all different forms of different stuff, high blood pressure, stuff like that. That's not a disability, that's a disease. But it's so many different stuff that everyone has. Some people are invisible, like you said, and some people are visible. Yep, that hit right, that hit home.
Exactly. That's huge. So what do you want to do career-wise?
Career-wise, I want to be in public relations. I want to manage other people. And I want to do a lot of stuff actually. So I want to model on the runway. I want to model professionally, like for Burberry and Gucci and stuff like that. That's always been a dream of mine to model on the runway and be on like magazines and stuff. Yeah. I really want to establish a foundation for all children with disabilities and diseases, especially when I get older. Like I want to have different sessions like self-love care, because I think that's very important. Like I was talking about, you have to love yourself. Mental health is very important when you have a disability and or a disease. And one of my best friends, she has lupus. So we're always there for each other. And I noticed with lupus, there's different things that we experience. So I know that there's many other children out here with different disabilities and diseases. So that's something that I really, really, really want to do when I get older. I want to do real estate, and there anything I want to be a commercial builder. Like I want to get land and build like houses.
Yeah.
That's the dream of mine as well. So that's basically what I would like to do.
That's awesome. I love that. How do you take care of your own mental health?
Praying and talking about things. I noticed that when something is bothering me, like I said, my tics will act up because it's an emotion that I have. I may be stressed or something. And I noticed that I can't keep stuff in for too long because my tics act up really, really badly. Yeah. So I have to talk about things. And whenever it's on my mind, sometimes I may even cry. I won't be in a situation where I need to cry, but it just releasing tears sometimes help as well. So talking about things, establishing safe zones and safe spaces is where two people or a group, they can feel safe to talk about any and everything with one another, no judgment, no nothing. You just getting everything off your heart, mind, and chest, and you just, pouring it out. That's what helps me. So
that's awesome. How do you go about building those safe spaces?
Um, my safe space is with my mommy and my best friend Isaiah, and since I trust them dearly, and I think that you know you just you have to establish trust, and I think on both ends of a safe space, it's different when you're just listening to someone, but when someone is actually listening to you and providing help to you, advice, just no judgment, no anything. That's how you develop a very, very, very strong foundation and a very safe zone, a safety spot. It's a lot of things you can call it. But that's what I call it, a safe zone.
I love that. All right, so one thing we always ask is when forever seems to be too intimidating and you're very overwhelmed with everything in the world and your own, your own issues, what gives you the courage just to get through one more day?
To answer that, I think I have a very, like I said before, I have a very, very, very strong determination and drive to be successful and be somebody in life. Like I said in church when I heard that God gives everybody something different for a reason. I feel like my purpose on earth is to be here and be an icon, a motivator, and an influencer to everybody in the world. And I have this ability, an ability, a superpower as well. I really want to motivate, encourage, inspire, just put a smile on people's faces. And I also think with my mommy being here to help, my mommy just provided morals, values, ethics, everything. So me, like I use coping toys and stuff. Like I'm excited now. So sometimes I have to calm myself down and just know that today is just today. Tomorrow will be tomorrow, and yesterday was yesterday. So you just have to keep progressing and doing things that I have to do in order to put me on the right path in the right direction that I would love to be on.
You have such a strong spirit. What gave you that determination and that willpower?
My mommy. My mommy is like literally my mommy is my role model. I look up to her for so many different reasons and different things. Like she's strong. She just goes setting. She helps me achieve so many things in my life. And I'm only 17, so I have a long, 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 very long way to go. But I know my mommy and my family by my side that I'll be able. I know that I can do anything I put my mind to, and with her nurturing and her love and stuff like that, just starting from just posting on social media, becoming a youth ambassador, to being in the documentary, to being on your show. I know that I can trickle and trickle down the line and do various things when I get older.
You're doing so many incredible things already. It's really exciting to watch. For sure. So do you mind if I asked your mom a couple questions?
Yeah,
okay. So this is Tanya.
Hello.
Hello. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
All right. So do you have any advice for any other mamas on how to best support your kids when they're going through really difficult times?
Well, I would just say to have patience. Definitely, you have to have patience, understanding, and most of all, love. Yeah. So those three things put together, it's all going to work out. I would say encourage your child, motivate them, let them know that they have to love themselves first. Self-esteem goes through the sky. Mm-hmm. Without self-esteem, you are no one to yourself. So you have to love yourself. Your self-esteem has to be to the sky. You have to encourage them. You have to motivate them. Self-love. And once you do all of those things, everything will just work out perfect. So I say to all the moms who have kids with disabilities to just love them, motivate them, and encourage them. And everything will be fine.
You both have such cool spirits. What gave you that willpower and that determination that you so very clearly passed down to William?
Well, actually, it was instilled in me from my mom. So everything that I offer my kids came from my mom, instilling it in me. Great morals, great values, just everything. Just, being on the right path, trying to get it done, be successful. Everything that I instill in them is in me from my mom.
That woman has done so much good, very clearly, generations and generations.
Yeah, so it's passed down. It's definitely passed down.
Do you have any misconceptions that you want to clear up about those living with disabilities?
Like William stated, as far as people thinking Tourette's is just swearing, it's definitely not that. It's it's way beyond that. And like he said, I didn't even understand it. So he definitely didn't understand it. And once I had knowledge of it, I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I had a misconception as well. So once we went to the neurologist and, we researched on our own and found out all about Tourette's, what it is, the symptoms, I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So for all the people that don't know, Tourette's is not about swearing. It goes deeper. Tics and motor movement. So that is definitely one misconception that I had as well. But now, like I said, I understand because we've been there, we've done that. So
would you both recommend researching your condition if anyone has questions, or like if anyone's going through their own diagnosis process? Do you feel that research helped a good bit?
Oh yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because you get to understand for yourself. Once you are diagnosed and you go back and you do that research, you just understand what it is.
Right.
So I would definitely say research it.
Yeah. There's only so much you can learn from one doctor's appointment, I always think.
And I always say, get a second opinion. And we did. We got a second opinion. And that second opinion and that first opinion, they said the same thing.
Perfect.
So I always say, get a second opinion or a third opinion.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Mm-hmm. This has been so great. You both are so cool and so spirited and so determined. It was so exciting to meet you. Do you have anything else you want to say to our community before we head off?
No.
Yep. What about you? Anything?
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You guys have both been such a great inspiration. You guys are so cool and just have so much spirit. I love that.
Thank you so much for having us on your show.